Hashem's name will be blessed forever and ever. We're dedicating this to our class for Leilun Nishmat, Sarah, Chaya Sarah, Bat Raisin.
The mother is Raisin, that's true.
Yeah, the father is Bat Yosef Halevi. Yitzchak Yosef Halevi.
Bat Yitzchak Yosef Halevi. ותהיה מנוחתה בגן עדן, אמן, בעזרת השם. Okay. So, we finish with discussing about the Seudot, how to go, where to go, how to act, how to behave. Today we have something very interesting. I want to focus a little bit about the Birkat HaTov HaMitiv, something that you probably have, I don't say a challenge, but you involved in this kind of cases, at least on Shabbat and Yom Tov, that we're missing a bracha, that it's a must, we got to do it. And there is also a very interesting insight behind it that Be'ezrat Hashem we're going to share today. I don't want to go through the whole halachot. I'm just picking up what I think it's really interesting, because there's many halachot in regards to wine. When you say a bracha over a wine, you will be patur, you'll be exempt from saying brachot on other drinks. In general, when someone say Bore Pri HaGefen, okay, this bracha, this blessing covers for all the drinks that you have in that meal. And Ben Birkat HaGefen Shebakiddush, either we did it in the Kiddush, or you did it in the middle of the Seudah, or outside of the Seudah, it covers for it. The question, what's so special about wine from all the other beverages that it was chosen to be the king, the leader? You do Kiddush with wine. Some people would prefer whiskey, beer, arak, juice. Why with wine? Okay, something to think about, and Be'ezrat Hashem will answer that question. The halacha, let's start with number 1. יש להיזהר בסעודה ובשמחה ובשמחות שונות שיביאו לברך על היין או על המשקה חריף. ומברכים קודם השתייה איש את רעהו לחיים ולשלום. This is something very common, and I think we discussed that before. What we do, we hold the cup, okay, can I use this? We hold the cup and it says, I want to greet all the participants in this party. Thank you for coming. I want to wish so-and-so and say so-and-so. And then they're saying bracha. They say l'chaim, and then saying bracha and they drink, right? This is the order, right? Do it again. I want to wish, and then l'chaim. Some people even forget to say both. Let's say you didn't forget, you say Borei Pri HaGefen. According to the Kabbalah, this is wrong. The order is wrong. And we'll see that the Zohar says, actually, people giving blessing to other people, or parents to their kids, and nothing is really happening. The blessing is not being fulfilled for years. And the Zohar revealed to us what's the reason. The reason is the wrong order. So what's the order? Anybody has an idea?
But if you say Borei Pri HaGefen, you have to drink first.
You have to drink. So if I want to greet the hosts, invited to a party, what would be the order if I'm holding a glass of wine in my hand?
You should say the bracha.
First you say the
Say
bracha.
the bracha, then say l'chaim.
And then you do a Tov HaMitiv. No, I think that...
Even before a Tov HaMitiv,
Okay.
just in the middle of the...
You have to have a Borei Pri HaGefen, of course.
Okay, correct. So the right order is the following. We're going to demonstrate. Imagine this is a gefen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam shehakol nihyo b'dvoro. I would like to raise a toast for so, and then you do the greeting. Why this order is better than saying l'chaim, greet everybody, say the bracha for yourself.
Bracha is the most important thing.
What? You're taking God first. And I'm going to bring an example. I want to bring an example. You want to say something? I'm sorry, I missed it.
No,
you say something?
Each other on the back.
Okay. I'm going to bring an example later on why this should be the order. And if someone will do that, he know that Bezrat Hashem, his blessing will be heard. And especially if you're blessing another person. Okay, and especially if you need the same thing like the one you're blessing. Let's start first, talk a little bit about the quality of the wine. I'm going to skip a lot. I'm going to just give the bottom line because it's a lot of info from the Zohar. It says that lerov ma'alato is a very high quality, this kind of beverage, the wine, that it hits to the Shekhinah. I mean, it implies to the Shekhinah, HaKadosha. And we see later what does that mean. It's on the level of the Bina and so forth and so on. So, anytime that something gets a lot of Kedusha in it, a lot of lights, it fills the whole room with lights. Other forces wants to enjoy from it and suck the Kedusha out of it. Right? It's always the Chitzonim. It's always the Sitra Acha. Okay? Lachen, this is why it's very bad for one to drink Yayin Nesech. One of the secrets of wine, it says, as we're saying in Tehillim, in Psalms 147:20, Lo asachen lechol goy, u'mishpatim bel yeda'um. This is something that's specialized to the Jewish nation, to the Jewish people. If a non-Jew will try to do the same thing with a regular wine, it won't work. Just not going to work. Among other things, what I'm about to say, what I'm about to learn. Okay? Like, for example, he wants to keep Shabbat. He wants to keep kosher. Of course, it's all good. It influences nefesh. It makes it better. Yes, you gain something from this kedusha. But the real deal, the real thing, no. In order to get these benefits, you need to join the club. You join the club, be Jewish. Yeah, you have to go through the whole process of conversion. Okay. So it says in the Zohar, Sod Hashem li re'av. The secret of God, it's to those who fear from Him. Okay, to the pious, to the tzaddikim. I'm going to read really quickly in Aramaic. It says, Kankain dehai yayin de liba de barnash di mukan kana hadata vitnasach beyayin nesech di yitzra bisha tzarich telata zimnin hadacha. עושה כן, גימטריה של סוד, the numerical value of the word sod, secret, what is it? 70. And yayin, also 70. And he says, how many ways you can explain the Torah? Shivim ponim la Torah, 70. Okay. The Zohar says, Sod Hashem liriyah. Hakankan, the heart, the person's heart is like the pitcher or the bottle. The pitcher that has hold the wine in it. And if it says if the pitcher, the container is new and it mixed with yayin nesech, what's yayin nesech? Not kosher wine. Okay. Shehu yetzer ora, it represents the yetzer ora. Immediately this other force get into your body, you drink it, it goes through the bloodstream and affect your nefesh. In order to clear, it's horrible. In order to clear that, it says according to the Zohar, tzarich shalosh pa'amim adacha, meaning it needs to be washed 3 times. How do you wash your body 3 times? I know in kashrut habayit, sometimes it says we have to wash things 3 times. You want to kosher rice for Pesach, some utensils you have to do. The Zohar says it means this person has to come in Gilgul 3 times.
Oh, wow.
This is his wash.
For drinking non-kosher wine?
Yeah, in Nesech.
If a Jew drinks non-kosher wine. The Goyim can drink non-kosher wine.
Now, what about Teshuvah? Many people, I guess, drink without knowing, not realizing the severity of the concept. So, we know that Teshuvah can atone for everything. If one will focus on this part and do tshuva this week, and saying in the video that he's doing tshuva for if, God forbid, he drank non-kosher wine in any way, he can atone for that and won't have probably to reincarnate 3 times. Reincarnation is an option. It's not always the best thing, right? Because you can mess it up to yourself.
Is it, wouldn't that sort of be included in Yom Kippur? We do the al-Khates, we do for the food and wine.
Yes,
Okay,
it will.
Wine for food and drink.
It is, but you have to do 2 things. First, to focus on the wording. Shalom Aleichem, Masha. Come on, on the wording, and you have to have kavana. If in Yom Kippur people are just reading from the text, like everybody does, some people don't even read. They wait for the chazan to say it for them. I don't know if it's a great level of teshuvah. Teshuvah means that you are atoning for sins, and you have to have kavanah, you have to have attention, right? So here we learn the new things. In case we drank yain neser, we want to atone for it, and we can add it in the vidui. Okay. They compare it to Chilul Shabbat. I'm going to skip that. It's called from Bereshit, Yereh Shabbat. It's really long. And it says, Ayen, see what brings Mekubal, Rabbeinu Moshe. Thank you. I'm sorry, this is the allergies. Zchut, Mekubal. Rabbeinu Moshe Zchut. He wrote on the Zohar, Ha'adam, he says the following, Ha'adam sheshoteh, the one that drinks this not kosher wine, the yain nesech. By the way, you can have kosher wine and it will still be yain nesech.
If it's not
Mevushal.
If it's not mevushal.
and somebody opened it, touched
Okay.
it, it's not supposed to.
Right. Could be even a Jew that he is not Shabbat observant, okay, or a non-Jew. According to the halacha, he can even not touch it. He can look at it and have kavanah in mind. This wine, the next lechaim, is for Jesus. Is for whatever idol he believes in, whatever avodah zarah. Doesn't even to touch it. This is why it's highly recommended always to use a mevushal. Mevushal means it was cooked, it was heated up to 80 degrees, and yain nesech, it doesn't consider this kind of wine cannot be yain nesech, because yain nesech, it's always a wine that was not cooked, because wine that it was cooked lose its quality, that even the priest or those who are washing up would not sacrifice or serve their idols such wine. So it's out of the picture. Okay? So therefore, people should be makpid to use yayin and mevushal. In case you have wine, someone brought it to you, you don't want to waste it, but tashchis, use it in a company that you have no worries. Okay? It's a whole concept by itself, a whole shiur about yain nesech. I'm just mentioning the idea. And it says, the one that drinks it, nichneset bo ruach tum'ah, a spirit of impurity got into it. When a person drink wine, he doesn't notice it. People don't notice, right? What's happening with you. People eat a non-kosher burger, they won't notice these things. This is on the spiritual level. Okay? And the nefesh dwell in the blood, as the Torah says, ki adam hu ha-nefesh. And everything we eat, everything we drink affects the nefesh. The first step before tshuva, we always say to people, start to keep kosher. You're starting some sort of cleansing process. Okay? The body, and it affects your spirituality. They goes together, always. So he says, immediately a spirit of tumah comes into his body, umetame gufo v'nishmato, and he calls the body and the neshama impure. Ad asher nachash ha'elyon, till the up serpent has a reshut, has the ability lachtof nishmato, to take his soul and lehotzi oto ma'ashorish, and take it out of his roots, out of his place. Okay? Lachen lachar meto l'chalek bezayim l'malachmana, and so forth. It says the Rabbi, look, most of the berachot we do is over the wine. Kiddush, Avdallah, Birkas Hamazon, Bris Milah, right? Kiddushin, Chatzuna, Sheva Brachot, soon, Bezrat Hashem. It says, Hayayin Av LaBrachot. He's like head, he's the king for all the Brachot. Mitam Shehu Babina. We have Chochma, Bina, and Das. Das is the highest level. It means knowledge. You know. No one can. Bina, it's a high level in Chochma. We're not the time to explain. It says in the Zohar the following. Vayvarech et Yosef. It's a quote from the book of Bereshit. Okay, what's Bereshit? What's Bereshit in English?
Genesis.
Genesis 48:15. It talks about the brachot that Yaakov gives to Yosef. And then it says, Vayvarech et Yosef vayomer, ha'elokim haro'e oti, and so forth and so on. God that blessed me. B'haikra it li stakle. Let me just show the translation. It says in this pasuk, Vayvarech et Yosef. We don't really see any bracha to Yosef. He's actually blessing his kids, his boys. אמר רב יוסי, הברכה של בניו הייתה, וכאשר מתברכים בניו הוא מתברך. שברכה של בניו של אדם ברכתו היא. When you bless the children, the kids of one, it's a blessing for the parents. The parents, they're proud. You're going to be successful, you're going to be great, you're going to be tzaddik. So it's actually, in a way, a blessing to the parents. But you can see that first word that comes out of Yaakov's mouth, before he blesses other, he gives blessings to God. God that leaded me and helped me and watched me, and he will so and so. Amar Rabbi Elazar, Vayvarech et Yosef, Davka et refers to the Shechina. Kol makom, one needs to give blessing, needs to bless the Kodesh Baruch Hu first. If the Kodesh Baruch Hu lo mitbarech, you didn't get the blessing first, the brachot will never be fulfilled. Lo mitkaimot. V'brachos lo mitkaimot. Inun birchan lo mitkaimin, as it says in Lashon HaZohar. We know what happened with Malki Tzedek. Okay? What happened with Malki Tzedek? In the tractate of Nedarim, Lamed Bet Amud Bet, 32:2, 32b, Amar Rabbi Yitzchak Mishum Rabbi Shimon, ביקש הקדוש ברוך הוא להוציא כהונה משם. שנאמר, והוא כהן לאל עליון. You know, Avram Avinu lived in the days of Shem. Shem was still alive. Shem, the survivor from the ark, he was still alive. And he has a big place, we call it yeshiva, okay? And Shem and Ever taught people the 7 universal laws, and anybody that had judgment, and they come to the high court, and it was in Yerushalayim. Back then, it was called Shalem, the place called Shalem. Later on, Avram Avinu called it Yiro, a place of Yira. He saw God. Is where he put we make the altar for for Yitzchak, and Hashem added a Yud, so Hashem is part of it. So Yiro and Shalem, Yerushalem. Anyways, Shem is there. Is considered Kohen Elyon. He's a tzaddik. He's the son of Noah. He told them beautiful stories about the journey in the ark. And he got from his father Torah from Adam and Eve. I mean, the chain was all the way back to Adam. So now his role is that he's a Kohen. Everybody appreciate them. All the idol worshiper, they know that he's a special man, he's a holy man. He got from HaKadosh Baruch who gave him the priesthood. Priesthood was in his hand. Back then there were no Jews. The entire world have to keep the 7 universal laws. Moshe Rabbeinu was a Jew. He was a Noahide. He kept the 7 universal laws. When do we become a Jew? When you receive the Torah. Hayom hazeh niyeta le'am. This day you become a nation. Prior to that, everyone were considered as Noahide, that have to keep the 7 laws. All right? And going back to Shem, was a great war. We actually read about this war, this parasha. 5 kings against 4 kings. The 4 kings overcome the 5 kings, stronger. And they took in prison Lot. You know the story. It was a great war. Avraham Avinu goes to his rescue, killing many of them, killing the kings. And then the king of Sodom was appreciate that. They want to give him, say, I don't want nothing from you, just and so on. He killed, Avraham Avinu, the descendants of Shem. But Shem came to greet Avraham with bread and wine. Right? And what the pasuk says, oh, Avraham, blessed is Avraham, and blessed there, and blessed is God. And Avraham Avinu sees someone greeting him. He appreciated that, but this time he was upset. Why Avraham was upset? He says, Shem, is it appropriate to greet the servant before greeting the king? You should say, it's Baruch Hashem, and then you can give me greetings. It's not appropriate, I'm just telling you. In that moment, Hashem took the priesthood responsibility, gave it to Avraham Avinu. Avraham gave it to Yitzchak, Yitzchak to Yaakov, Yaakov to Levi. And Levi later on, Aaron got this power of priesthood. Okay? What do you want to teach us? A great lesson. Anytime you want to greet someone, you must greet Hashem first. So on Shabbat, when we're greeting our children, people, we do Kiddush, right? And before we go to Netilat Yadayim, this is the time we do blessing. Some Ashkenazi community do that before Kiddush. Right? Just it depends on your minhag. Why we do that? So how we bless the kids? We should say always. You can have it here as an example. We should say it always. Yehi Shem Hashem Mevorach. May Hashem's name will be blessed. And now you put your hands over the child and give him a bracha. You give bracha for a kid that even is not sitting on the table. One kid includes other names that you want to mention. But always we greeting Hashem first. Going back to the L'chaim, the best method, the best order, the right order actually, is first of all say the bracha. Drink. Then you can bless anyone else. When you greet Hashem first, then you can give greetings to God. You can't say bracha to Hashem, Bore, Priya Gefen, and then give. You have to over la'asiyat, immediately drink, take a sip. Right, some adding and saying this is not enough. When I say Baruch Atah Hashem Bore Priya Gefen, this is bracha on the Gefen. So what do you need to do before you give it? So you say Gefen, you drink. Before you give a blessing to any person, say just Baruch Hashem Leolam Vayed, or whatever greeting you want to greet God.
Isn't the bracha itself though part of the greeting to God?
Which one?
Any. Baruch Atah Adonai.
Yes, but the kavana is on the wine, and the greeting God is for the wine.
Okay.
So the wine is one thing. Blessing other, I want to add one more short bracha to show that the order is to greet the king first, the king of the universe, and then there is a good chance that our brachot will be fulfilled. Otherwise, it says clearly in the Zohar, if you mix the order and you say the l'chaim first or the greeting first, it won't work. Okay.
So, based on what you're saying, but the Zohar is teaching us, why is it that we have, as Ashkenazim, because we do the blessing of children before we say Kiddush? It seems clear then.
You can do that.
It should be afterwards, because the blessings are...
No, you can do that. This is not a wrong minhag. You can do that. Just add the words. I'm doing at home. Here brings another example. He says, you put your hands over the blessed person. the one you want to bless, it says, Yitbarach Shmo Shel HaKodesh Baruch Hu. I'm saying, Yehi Hashem Mevorach Ma'ata V'ad Olam. May Hashem's name will be blessed forever and ever, like I do every opening in the class. That's it. And then I give blessings to people.
You have it here.
And then let your job before.
Oh, very good. So Don brought me an example from Siddur, some sort of Siddur blessing. Before you put your hands over the child and say, Yisim Chakash B'chu, put you as Ephraim, as Menashe, it says one line before that. Yitbarach v'yitromam v'yitnaseh shmo shel melech hamlochim HaKodesh Baruch Hu. And you know what? I'm going to read the commentary. The commentary says, Nohagim, it's a minhag every Shabbat, to bless the boys and the girls in the Shabbat evening. In minhag vatikin, it's a very ancient minhag, it's a very ancient custom, it's the right thing to do. Why? In order that the Satan, the other force, won't control the blessings. Mipnei kedushat HaShabbat. Asher en sham shum pega ra sholed bo. Umuva basfarim, which they say in the holy books, that tzarich, one must bless Hashem first. You even mentioned that here. Kedei shelo yeh kitrug. So, one have the persecutors. The prosecutor will say, hey, he bless his kids before he bless you. And he puts a block over your brachot. Shelo yeh kitrug umini, and put your right hand. And he says, it's debatable in the halach if to do both hands or only one hand. Most of the opinion says one hand and the right hand. When the child is married, you can put both hands, one for your child, one for his bride, his wife, or if you do it for your girls, one for her and one for her husband. Okay, it's a whole thing. If the first hand, yad hand, and being proof from Yaakov, that's hand. Then, so it's not our right now to discuss, but you get the idea. Always bless Hashem first. Now look at the Siddurim. You know, it's something we do every day. Do we start with asking Hashem for personal blessings? No. Elo Avraham, Elo Yitzchak, Elo Yaakov. Thank for the zchut, the merit of these three giants, that thanks to them we can open our mouth and ask something and pray before you. They are like the key to start the blessing, the tefillah. You know, I think we mentioned that before. I ask, which is from Tfilat Amidah, the silent tefillah, which part is the most important? From the whole 19 blessings. The first one. Why the first one? Because according to Halacha, if you had no kavanah, no intention, the first one you have to repeat. Okay? It doesn't say that about any other blessings. And one of the explanations says, because we don't have the zechut to even open our mouth after our behavior to Hashem, So we are just saying we come as a shlichim of Avraham, Yitzchak. We are their descendants, and thanks to the merit of these great forefathers, we are blessing, and they are opening the tefillah for us. This is why we must have kavanah in the siddur to say Avraham, Yitzchak, Gvura. In many siddurim we have, but even without that, without the sfirot, just think about that for the sake of our forefathers, we can daven, will be good enough. You have kavanah in the beginning, and Magen Avraham, it's good enough. It's obviously great to have kavanah in Tarit Tefillah, and we should make efforts to have more kavanah. But if you didn't, you have to repeat the entire Tefillah. According to Ashkenazim, Mishnah Berurah says, I think the Tur mentioned that one doesn't have to repeat. After Shema says, oh, I didn't have kavanah in the beginning. So don't repeat. Because there's no guarantee that you have kavanah second time. So then, but according to Shulchan Aruch, you must repeat. Thank you for this info. So, okay. He brings here an example. Shamati mirav ha'ir. Kaddish, thank you. Moreno Rabbi Yaakov Chazak, he was the Abidin. He says when he blesses his children, he always starts with saying, Yisbarach Shmo Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem's name will be blessed, and then he gives blessing to his children. Obviously, you can use any other wording as long as you're greeting God first. Okay, then we have Baruch Hashem a chance that our brachot will be heard. Any questions so far? Okay, let's move to the next one.
Are you going to answer the question still? Why?
Yes.
Why?
What's that? What's the question?
Why
Why is wine
Why
considered
can't
king?
we-
Why is wine
Oh, I'm getting
highest?
there. I'm getting there.
Where
I'm
you
getting there.
Okay, so I'm
You're
figuring.
very lucky.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I have it here.
You got some wine?
He has very good two qualities. Okay, let me tell you. You have two qualities, but we'll get in there, Masash. Something very common that happens, I believe, in many houses every Shabbat, that they are missing one great bracha. And some people are they're very confused. Some don't even know. I was in some houses where I have guests, and I'm saying this bracha. They're looking at me with the face. I never heard such a bracha in my life. We have an opportunity to study today and take advantage of it because it's a wonderful bracha. This bracha called Hatov Vehameitiv. Baruch Ata Hashem Elokeinu Melech HaOlam Hatov Vehameitiv. You're good and you do goods to others. That's the idea of this bracha. When do you say this bracha? Not only over wine. When there's a whole list, I'm going to read maybe just a few. I'll give you just an idea. For example, like what we mentioned about the wine. In which case, we'll see in a minute. Another one that you will raise your eyebrow when you hear that. But some people say Hatov V'Hamitiv and the Levaya. After Baruch Dayan Emet, they cut whatever they need to cut. And then they're standing by the grave and they say Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech HaOlam Hatov V'Hameitiv. For what? You got a nice house now, the inheritance. Nice house, nice land. They'll leave some money for you. Shulchan Aruch. I'm going to read it to you.
For that reason?
Ken.
Because
Now you got more money.
Because of inheritance, you say Atov V'Hameitiv.
Yes. And some, you never heard that before, right?
No.
So, okay, I'm sorry. So, we'll see a different opinion. Some say don't say it out loud, it doesn't look good. Some say don't say it. Have custom, don't say custom. It looks like you're happy. But something good's come toward you, to you. You gotta say Atovam, you gotta say Bracha, whether you like it or not.
So can you say it?
I don't know if you ever heard people saying Atovam Mitiv.
Can you say it over other things except for inheritance and wine?
There's more.
New words at the table.
There's more. In general, I'll tell you in general, if you need to go to this concept of halachot, it's going to take us a long time. Just give you an idea. A private bracha, something that happens to you privately, for example, new shirt, new shoes, new car, new home. So, Shechianu. But it's things that it's a blessing for others, brothers, they all got now inheritance. So, okay, from that. So they need to say Hatov V'Hameitiv. Hold on. The halacha says the following. You can check in Siman in Shulchan Aruch Kuf Ainei. It talks about the Hatov V'Hameitiv, the 175. Here, it's not the Shulchan Aruch. It's different. Im shata yain bekiddush. One started the meal. They had the motzi. They start to eat from the meal, and they have wine. And another wine was brought from another place, and it's a different kind. And you have other people around you with you in the table. You say for the shinui, for the change of that new wine, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech HaOlam Hatov V'Hameitiv. ושינו יין הוא סוג ענבים אחר, או מאותו סוג ענבים, אבל בציר של שנה אחרת. So, there's five conditions.
What if it's not a better wine?
So I'm going to show you. It has to be, it's debatable. Okay? It has to be equal or better. Some hold that it doesn't matter. It's a change of a different wine, even if the wine that you had, I don't know, cost $200, and the second one is just $100, it's still good. You still have to say Atov regardless. But let me read.
What if it was on the table?
Okay, that's a good question. It's a difference between Sephardim and Ashkenazim. Okay, for Sfaradim, you take it out of the table. It's good enough. For Ashkenazim, it can't be in the house because it says brought to the house. So some have the trick, they leave it by the door outside. Let's say 5-6 bottles. After starting the meal, they're bringing one after one another, or they can place them
Can you say Atov Hamitiv?
100 times. There's no limit.
Same meal?
The same meal. There's no limit.
If you keep changing
As long as you're changing wine.
Yeah.
But let's read really quickly the.
So that means that you do it at least one time, because if people do the kiddush on grapes, on grape juice,
Obviously, you'll have to do it in wine.
then you immediately have to do it on
But
wine.
let's learn the conditions that needs to be fulfilled in order to know if I can even say Tov Amitiv, and I won't say a bracha, a blessing, in vain. Especially on Shabbat, when we have a lack of brachot, and we want to have as many opportunities that we can in order to say a bracha. And so one take advantage. Did he cover for everybody? What did you say? I wanted to say it. What's the deal? So I educated my family that everyone should say by himself.
Okay.
Don't have kavana. Don't include me, because I want to say this bracha. Okay. כאשר מביאים לפני האדם עניין, so when another wine was brought before a person, he need to say hatov ve'hamitiv. That way he thanks God that he rewarded him, had the merit to drink many wines. Okay? Mishnah Berurah says because wine brings joy. But joy with wine can be something dangerous. You get lightheaded. If you drink too much, it can be a disaster. ולכן, therefore they made a bracha called Atov Amitiv. Our sages set up a bracha called Atov Amitiv. And we have Atov Amitiv in Birkas Hamazon. Anyways, so they set it up.
So before you say Birkat Hamazon,
Yeah, before. We have Atov Amitiv, that's the fourth bracha. The original Birkat Hamazon was 3 brachot. The fourth bracha is after what happened with Beitar, the thousands of people, they got murdered, killed, and by the Romans, and they didn't let them bury them. And they used them, they just leave them long lines piled on the field. So anytime you go to plow your field, to take whatever you take, grapes, or you will see them. The miracle was that they didn't decompose. It's against nature, and it was there for a long time till they were brought to a burial. So we thank God for that, and this is the fourth blessing we have in the Birkat Hamazon. Everyone have. ותקנו משום הרוגי ביתר בשעה שהובאו לקבורה. אמרו חז"ל, our sages says, שכשמביאים לאדם wine, one was brought a wine, another one extra on the top of what he already have, he has to say Atov Amitiv, and this way he will remember the Tov Amitiv that was set in the Birkat Hamazon, and remember the Beitar killed. Okay, and also will remind him the day of death. So he drinks in one hand the simcha, but in the other hand it reminds you the deaths of Beitar. Okay, kind of like to put you in balance. So what are the tnaim? What are the conditions? First one has to have another kind of wine. So if you have grape juice, another grape juice, it's not a reason to say Birkat Atov Amitiv. Secondly, shelo yeh min garua min harishon, that the second one won't be worse than. Now it's debatable. What do you mean worse?
Yeah, personal taste.
Right, it's personal taste. So, according to some poskim, I didn't want to bring the whole halacha because we're going to study like 10 classes on just about this topic. Saying that regardless of its quality, if it's not spoiled, it's drinkable, it's good, it's a good quality, you already have a reason to say Atov Amitiv. Some wines, it's $200 wine, and I like the one at $30 better than the $200. To me, it tastes better. I tell you something that I was debated with the one that is expert in wine. It was in my house many years ago, and he's a winer. He's the one that tastes and
Sommelier.
sommelier. Okay, I learned something new.
French.
Okay, so this guy is expert. So when he brought the wine with him, so I put it immediately in the refrigerator because we like it cold. He says, "Yo, I said, what happened?" I said, "You put the wine in the refrigerator." He almost fainted. I said, "What? I like it cold." And then I said, "You know what?" And then said, "Okay, I can always put ice cube in it." Ice cube in it! Oh my God, that was even worse. That was the worst. So I said, no. Come. So for him to drink a room temperature wine, it's the way you drink wine. To me, I like it cold. It tastier. What can I do? So it really depends on the taste, on it's very individual.
I have a question now. So the wine that you have after the Kiddush, brought a bottle, it's wine, you have to say Hatov Hamet.
So what we do, we clear, no wines on the table, just the grape juice. And then we bring in the bottle so we can say,
Yes. So after you say that and you taste the wine, ew, I don't like it. I really don't like it. I can't drink it because I don't like it. It's good wine, but it's the type I cannot drink.
So what's your question?
My question is, does it mean that I said the bracha in vain?
So you can taste before.
Well, but I don't.
You can taste before you even say bracha.
If I saw the bottle, I would.
Oh, you thought it's going to be?
I thought it would be fine because it's wine.
It won't be a blessing in vain because other people enjoy from it. Huh?
Let's say it went
In this
sour.
equation, is you and other people. It might be good for other people, but it's recommended if you have suspicious to taste from it.
No,
For example.
I'm not. I mean, totally not.
No, people do that. I'm telling you, it's a good question.
No,
People
but
do that.
it happened to me once, and I just didn't know what to do because I can't drink that one. That's a very good wine, Italian wine, but it's smoky, and I can't drink smoky. I don't like smoky. So I had Hametiv, and then I drank it, and I was like, oh, I can't drink this.
Okay.
So I was wondering if that's a problem. Other people enjoyed it.
Okay. So no, but my recommendation, taste before, like we do, for example, the
Without saying the
This is
bracha?
before, without saying bracha. If you can say bracha, there's very few things you can try before you say bracha. This is one of them. The other one is fragrances. Okay, psamim. Let's see if I like the smell before I say atze besomim or mineh besomim. Let's see if I can even smell. Maybe my nose is stuffed and I can't smell. So you try, say, okay, it's a good smell. Baruch mineh besomim, atze besomim, whatever.
Okay, and now I said I can't drink this. I'm so sorry. So they
Just
give
an
me a
example,
different wine.
Okay.
I have to say
Mm-hmm.
Hatov Hametiv on the
Again.
Okay.
So next. The other condition is when you say on the first one, Borepia Gefen, that's the Kiddush, and you drink from the first wine, the second one, the new one, was not brought to the table because if I say Kiddush, you cover all the drinks. So it has to be away. But the question, what is the meaning of away? In the kitchen or outside the house? So Ashkenazim, as I said before, outside, not in the house. Okay?
But the guests don't know. So the
Yes,
guests don't
often.
see it.
So they
for
missed
them
it.
It's like it's out of the house, as far as they're concerned.
No, it
For
doesn't
the
matter
guests.
because the guest follows the minhag of the house. Okay. There is a way when a second wine was brought to the table that is worse than the first. Worse meaning is a secondary. It's not so great in its quality than the first one. You still say a bracha of Hatov Hametiv, and all the opinion would agree. In the case that the first wine was red and the second is white, because the white they're saying is healthier to the human body. Don't ask me, I'm not an expert. I'm just That's what it says here. I'm not arguing with the halacha. Mishnah Brura brings another opinion. If the wine was in the house, can say atov amitiv, unless they brought it from another place. Okay, so some says another place could be a faraway room or outside the house. Not in a place that is easy to watch, to observe, to see. Okay. Another condition is that you can't do it yourself. You have to have at least another person sitting around the table, because the blessing says hatov, good to me, and meitiv, to others, because there's nobody here. So if you sit by yourself having a dinner and they're bringing you 10 bottles of wine, it won't change anything. You say one time agefen and finish.
So if you
Hold on. The second halacha here, it says mevarech al kol shinui wain, and anytime you change the wine, you say the bracha. Okay. Okay. Because there's so many details in this halacha, and sometimes according to your taste, many people just preventing themselves and skipping these methods of atov amitiv, and they don't say it. It's really easy, relatively, it's really easy to determine if this is an opportunity to say atov amitiv. You're sitting around the table with more than one person. It was brought to the table. You can say atov amitiv. Okay? And that's it in general. Okay, if you have more questions, obviously you need to learn this halacha in depth. Questions?
You mentioned already, you can say that bracha on other things besides wine. Say, just an example, say the whiskey. You having whiskey tasting night.
No. Whiskey is not great like wine. Wine is special. We'll get to it. We'll see why.
All right.
It brings two reasons why.
You say it on a person?
Hmm?
On a person.
What do you mean?
I don't know, like if I go and see a brother, right? Here's one brother, here's the other. Can I say it?
There is some brachot that are related to people. For example, Baruch Mechaya Mesim.
Right.
For someone they didn't see 30 days in, or a year or so.
Yeah, my brother, every time I go back to Israel, he says Shechianu.
Or Baruch Mechaya Metim. And it's debatable because today we have WhatsApp and you could see him the whole year.
Right.
So the Pasuk said, nonetheless, even if you talk to him, even WhatsApp, you still have to say this bracha. Another topic to discuss. There's another bracha if you see someone ugly. Shana Briot.
Oh, baby!
We both turned at the same time to look at that man, right?
I know, I opened a Pandora box. If you see someone ugly, what's the blessing? Baruch Meshaneh HaBriot. You're familiar?
Beautiful.
So, say it. Let me hold on 1 second.
Not you.
Is there a bracha for something beautiful?
I'm not sure about that. There's a blessing for a king, a blessing for a great chokhmah rabbi. Baruch Shem chokhmato bnei adam. But yeah, there's actually about a beautiful, yes. I forgot. Baruch Shem miyofi or mashu kazeh. If you see, it's a matter of sniut. Sometimes you see a beautiful woman, and the question is, you'd say a bracha over her. Okay, there is a bracha, but I just forgot right now. Huh?
Now when your wife is next to
What do you just say? I was saying it about
Yeah,
you.
תסתכל במה עושים ברכה על משה יפה. שכחתי, ברוך שנתן, שחלק מיופיו או משהו כזה, something like that. Okay, we have 6 more minutes. Okay, let's continue. I don't know if I get the answer.
No, we have to get the answer first.
Okay, so you guys have a lot of questions, Baruch Hashem.
I would just come back next week.
Next week was Hashem, yes. Tov. So that the answer is right now. So when we change from wine to wine, there's bracha tov v'amitiv. Why we don't do that for a bread? We say we have a great challah, we say bracha. And then challah rolls were brought to the table. They are better quality than the challah you did the motzi. Why you don't say atov v'amitiv over a different bread. Make sense? So it says, a Ravan answer, משום דיין משמח וסועד, אבל פת סועד ואינו משמח. He says there's an extra quality in wine. In regards to bread, it says it's just so'ed, meaning it give you nutrition. Nutrish you? That's the right way to say it?
Nutrient.
Nourish you.
Nourish you. Yeah, you eat it, you satisfy, you're happy. But with wine, it has the nutrition quality, plus mesameach, brings you joy. You drink good wine, you feel better, you're lightheaded, it's all good. Bread won't do that to you. All right? So this is why, this is the quality of a wine over all the other beverages that you can't find in any other beverages. Okay? Obviously, if you drink whiskey, it'll be much stronger.
It's not healthy. Whiskey can give you this.
Oh, whiskey's real healthy.
Is it?
A shot a day is good for you.
Yeah, but it says that it's not nutritious. It doesn't give you the right, I don't know, vitamins or whatever like wine. Wine is healthier to your body than whiskey, or arak or any of them. Okay, okay. Next, he's all about what if. We're not going to finish with that. Okay, let me read the halacha and we finish with this part. And in regards to halacha, the Shulchan Aruch Paskin and Siman Kuf Aynei, like I said, Shemavachim, you say Atov Metiv on any change of wine, even if the second one is not so great like the first one. Okay? So the test is, if the second wine is not so bad than the first one, meaning the smoke one that you didn't like, that will be considered for you as something that you won't say atov ha'metiv. So next time, if you know that this is the case, you don't say it. You may drink it just for the saying l'chaim. All right. And this is the minhag. It says that Rabbeinu, there's so many opinion here, so many.
But it's good to know that I can taste it to know what I'm given before I say that.
Right. So the question is, I have to have another person with me sitting on the table. Is that includes my wife and my boys and family members, or it's only in the case? In the case of a guest.
You cannot say it by yourself?
I'm asking. So the halacha says, you don't say atov ha'metiv unless there's another person with you. So that's the
for anything
blessing. Every time you see Asher, you see this bracha. Shekacha lo ba'olamo. Yeah. So in regards of the other person, includes his wife and children, but on the condition that they both will drink from the wine.
Okay. Your wife has to drink.
Drink with you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
at least two guys will drink from the both wines. If they don't drink it, so you if you have 10 people, at least another one drink from it. It's good. It's good enough. You have your wife, you have your kids, another guy will do l'chaim with you. Then you can say atov ha'metiv. Do you have here? Do you have here etrog? You have etrog, or you don't have etrog? It's easy to get here, or okay. I want to give you the opportunity to say, because you mentioned bracha that you probably not used to do. Tomativ, today we're going to do another bracha that you probably didn't do in your life. I can actually do it with an orange. I see behind me, but I want to give you an opportunity to all of us to say a bracha. I'm sure some of you never did in their life before. It's an easy thing to do, and you gain a mitzvah anytime you do that. I wanted to get to the knife. I have a lot of information about the knife. Why? I don't have time today. So maybe we can conclude this class with that. So.
It's not just an etrog, it's a Timani etrog.
Wow. You got it from me. Right. Shkoyech. Why? Okay. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Started green.
See? It's ripening. There's a question, if I do a Tova Mitiv, the other guy with me, I have to drink a Revi'it? No. Taste. Just a little bit is good enough for a Tova Mitiv. Okay, I will not start it today, but this is a food for thought. We'll leave it for next week. Be'ezrat Hashem, I have a beautiful information to share. It's about knives or any sharp material on the table. You see some people removing it before we cut Amazon. So we'll learn, first of all, if you have to, what day you're exempt. If everybody agreed, I can tell right now, no. If to remove the knives. Some says, Shabbat in Yom Tov, you can leave them. According to the Ari, move them all the time, and we'll see what's the reason. And why we even need to remove sharp things, items from the table before we cut Amazon. What's the reason? What's up with that? Bezrat Hashem, this is for next week.
Is there an opinion of no knife at all?
What do you mean?
Not using a knife at all?
No. You can. On the contrary, there is an opinion. It was brought in the book of Ta'amei Minogim that one has to bring to the table a sharp knife. Sharper, the better. Because if one won't use sharp knives, it will affect his parnasa. What does it got to do, sharp knife and parnasa? Sometimes a year, I know Ashkenazim has a minhag to sharpen the knives. You have this minhag? You know why? And it's related to parnasa? I don't know. So let's leave it for next week. Why sharp knives are segula for parnasa? What has it got to do with livelihood? Okay, food for thought. So a mitzvah that we do today. When we are having a wonderful fruit like etrog, we can say a special bracha over it. The bracha is, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, hanoten reyach tov baperot. One that is putting a good fragrance in the fruits. You can say it over clementina, pomelo, anything that brings you, anything that has a good. I'm going to say it, and I'm giving you the opportunity to say it. Guyava, I love guyava. So let's first. I'm testing to see if I can see the. Wonderful. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten reach tov baperot. I know you are older than them, but they are Kohanim. I have to start from the Kohanim. Okay? And do it quickly. Baruch hanoten reach tov baperot. And smell.
Smells. Yeah.
Hanoten reach tov baperot. Just make sure that you can really smell anything. In the meantime, I'm going to say. I'm going to say hello to everybody. God bless you. Till next week, we'll see you here together. I want to say, I forgot. I want to say thank you to the Ghost team for opening the shulchan here for us. Let me show you the table. One time you see how many efforts they're making to beautiful thing. God bless you all. Thank you.